Zwom. Doot, 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 doot. BMO. Hey everyone, and welcome to another BMO Creative Fact About Fiction video. So this one is about Spartan Armor, specifically from the movie 300. So have you ever seen that movie? Okay, so first, I gotta say that the movie was an adaptation from a comic book series of the same name, and the comic book series never pretended to be historically accurate, okay? From true historic accounts I have read, the 300 Spartans, however, wore heavy armor, even by Greek standards. Basically, they wore bronze plate, and that armor was a major reason why they held for so long during that skirmish portrayed in the movie. They weren't just wearing leather loincloths, okay? Each Spartan warrior had their own panoply, which is a word that basically means an individual soldier's equipment and weapons. The basic elements of body armor consisted of a shield called a haplon, a helmet, cuirass or breastplate, and separate shoulder pauldrons, armor for the arms called manica, thigh, lower leg armor called greaves, and foot protectors that often actually looked like feet. They would literally sculpt nails into these foot protectors. And thick strips of leather hanging at joints called flanges, all with a gambeson, which is armor made of multiple layers of fabric, worn underneath the bronze. You don't want the bronze metal plate right up against your body, especially if it's got joints in it, because if you move, it's going to pinch your skin and rip your meat off. So the gambeson was also often stuffed with tow, wool, horsehair, and sometimes saturated with salt as well. Depending on the time period, the region, and the class of the wearer, gambeson was considered armor. It was either considered as armor or armor worn underneath the bronze plate. And it was also known as linothorax, which is basically armor for the torso. As time went on, the arm, leg, and foot protectors for some brigades, battalions, units it was discarded in order to permit greater mobility, but not the gambeson. They kept that gambeson armor. Weapons used by the 300 would have been their dory spear, a shield, yes, a big shield, very heavy, but also very deadly as a weapon, just as much as it is armor. Greek sword called the xiphos, and javelins as well for throwing before they moved into close combat. The Persians were the ones that actually tended to wear lighter armor, usually sometimes animal skins, not necessarily hardened, wrapped really tight to the body with string or cloth straps. The immortals did wear mail, which is very effective against blades and other typical Persian weapons, so they did seem unkillable in most ancient conflicts compared to other forces. Unfortunately for them, though, the Spartans primarily used spears, and mail is not as useful against piercing weapons like spears, big heavy spears. So, yeah, anyway, this is my drawing of the Spartan armor. Note that mine probably isn't exactly accurate as well, although I have looked at pictures and things. I don't use a visual reference while I'm drawing, so yeah, it's just kind of what I recall in my head, whatever I see in my head. And yeah, I do understand the armor and what they wore, so this is pretty close. I mean, it is. It's pretty close. While the Greeks might have done many sporting events like the Olympics in the nude, they knew better than to try fighting battles that way. So it was just kind of weird to me that they would have the characters dressed that way in the movie. But hey, you know what? For most people, if it was women dressed that way, like the way that they dress playing volleyball, like sand volleyball, they dress in bikinis. Why? I have no idea why. It doesn't make any sense, but people, I guess society enjoys that more. They enjoy seeing that more, so that's why they made the movie that way. The Immortals were kind of historically accurate in the bottom left corner. Yeah, that was pretty dead on as to the kind of armor they wore. Very scary, intimidating, very nice shiny armor. Also, the Persian armor in the upper right was also very similar to what they even wear today. So yeah, that was pretty accurate. So it was just weird to me that the Spartans weren't wearing any armor. Really, I mean, they weren't. So how do I know all this about Spartan armor? Well, I mean, museums, you know, books and museums. Here are some armor pieces in museums that I talked about. I mean, here are the foot covers I was telling you about, the foot armor, that they actually sculpted nails into the armor and a hinge so that you can move all your toes. I mean, how interesting is that? Yeah, there it is. And yeah, so there, and we have the plate armor I was telling you about, and the shields. The greaves are there. Yeah, we have all of that stuff. We have all of that stuff in museums and other places. So far, it's still there. So anyway, what do you think of Greek Spartan armor, or even of the movie 300? I liked it. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. So what do you think? Yeah, leave a comment below. Anyway, that is going to do it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to BMO Creative for more fact about fiction videos. Thanks so much. Bye.